Say hi to Mr. Yakis.
It's like, hey.
Hi, Mr. Yakis. Alright, so let's just get back in the groove of it, and why don't we just start with some monotone strokes. So we'll just play 1A, and then 1B and 1C. So just for a while, let's just play it at this tempo. Let's get set up at low set. Actually, let's get set up at low set. So, good. And let's go up to high playing, and we'll just do some high to highs. And just to warm my wrists up a little bit. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Good. So right away, I'm kind of seeing. It might have been a while. Maybe hide a little bit, but mostly what I'm looking at right now is your wrists are your hands are sort of turned out. So as Mr. Yakis might say, kind of rev the motorcycle a little bit. So the back of your hands are sort of facing the ceiling, so they're in line. And try to do that. Do a little bit more door knocking than. Yeah, that looks much better. So let's go back to 1A on the right hand. Yeah. So 5, 6, 7. Yeah, that's much better. Good. And then try to get the height. Keep that left hand. Your left hand is great where it is. Try to get the right stick up to where the left hand is. Yeah, there we go. Good. And ready, stop. There we go. Awesome. Yeah. So just warming up a little bit. Let's get the wrist moving a little bit quicker, and let's go right into D then. So we'll just do a lot of right. With the ready, stop. Awesome. Great. Good. So we're pretty warmed up now. Just getting the wrists and arms back into motion. How's it feeling? It's coming back. Pretty natural again. Great. All right. So let's jump right into then all the good stuff of lengthening a note. Good old flams and rolls. Yeah. So what do you remember about flams that are super important? Anything?
The only thing I remember was for the difference between right hands, you have to have the one high and one low.
Mm-hmm.
So they both basically come down at the same time, but they make the flam the.
Yeah. So you have that spectrum where your first ones they were awesome. They sounded really good. Where you have that chut sound. So you have the spectrum all the way from the separate notes to where you actually have that one event, but it's not quite a double stop. So yeah, exactly what you remember. And you have the one up and the one down. And the most important thing, did he show you the video? The video of the dubstep remix guy with the keep the grace note down? The guy screaming, keep the grace note down. So if there's anything I'll remember from that class, it's keep the grace note down. So you definitely want to remember not to lift up with the one that's down. Good. And kind of watch your beats. Watch the tips of your sticks right now. Do you see how your left one is coming slightly up right before you do the grace note? So right now you have this. I'm exaggerating just so you can see it a little bit more, but really just keep it down the whole time. It should be pointed down at all times. You just kind of bring it down. It's almost like an arm motion. Kind of like a touch. Let's just do, so take out the right hand for now, and let's just do like a little touch. So, yeah, good. Now let's do that again, and when we add the grace note in for the flam, see if you can say out loud chut. We'll say chut together, so we think of it as one event. Yes, the magic word chut. So chut. Instead of trying to think of, oh, there's the grace note, but then I forget about the right hand. Okay, let me get the right hand back in, and then the left hand is a little bit late. So let's do the same thing. So let's get set in the right hand high playing and left hand kind of at low set, ready for a grace note. Ready, right hand. Yeah, it's already much cleaner. Before it was a lot of separate notes. We were hearing kind of both individual notes. We're getting a few double stops in there, but it's much closer to being one event than two separate notes. So that's great. So now let's flip it. Let's do right hand down, left hand up, the left hand flam. So perfect. Set a little bit put your beats down just a little bit more. Great. Okay, so a few left hands and then adding the right hand in with the grace note. And we'll do the same thing that we just did. Since we kind of went through the whole process already, you know how it works. So we'll say chut and then I'll take the chut out. So here's left hand, ready, go. That space that you had beforehand where you kind of prepped it, like to bring it with it, it made this one have a little bit too much speed with it for sure, and that's why I was hitting a little bit early. About this tempo, let's do number 2 once without the flams first. So really treat that as an accent. So we have the accent, so high to lows, and then on the repeat, we'll take these rests to get set for the repeat and the grace note. So from number 2, top of number 2, without the flams, without the grace notes the first time. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Great. So now let's just focus on measure 1. Actually, let's go back and just do measure 1. Do it once without grace notes, and then once with grace notes, and we'll keep repeating it back and forth. So it'll be. And then take the grace notes out, so on and so forth. So just repeating the first measure for now, and then we'll move to the second measure in the same fashion. So 1, 2, ready, go. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so let's actually, let's just do the left hand now. Let's just repeat what the left hand's going to do, because it seems to be kind of getting confused with the, with the grace note, and then we want to do a right hand again. I used to do that all the time. Just, oh, the left hand's already down there, so I need to bring it up. So let's just do what the left hand's going to do. So it's going to kind of be like a touch, and touch, and make sure on the grace note that you're kind of playing down. There we go. Kind of get into that groove, but I think it helped a little bit. So let's do measure 1. No grace notes, then adding the grace notes, just repeating it over and over. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, flam, 2, 3, 4, flam, 2, 3, 4, 1, and so on and so forth. So ready, go. Good. No grace note. Grace note. There we go. Great. So what I'm seeing now, when we don't have the grace note in, you have the left hand perfectly in low set or low playing position. So you have. But then when we add the grace note, it's kind of like. And it kind of stays in that low set position. So see if you can bring it up just a little bit so we can get that low playing for the non-accented notes. So same exercise, just accents without the grace notes, and then add the grace notes in. And ready, go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So that's looking much better. One thing I would say is, again, we're kind of going back to what we were doing when we started out warming up on the flams, where you're kind of giving each flam its own prep, and so it's kind of your hand is coming up. It's still pointed down, but you're kind of coming up and bringing it down. So try to focus on, really look at your left hand, because I think the right hand will kind of keep its own time, since it's on the beat the whole time. Great, yeah. So now just think shut in your mind. Yeah, that one was awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that's much cleaner, much better than it was before. Let's see. Let's go on to the second measure so we can kind of get those flams on the left hand, so we can get some left hand flams. Yeah. So see on that last right hand, it was kind of high. Yeah. So I think do you have it memorized?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just look while we're playing and see if we can really follow that grace note and really try to keep that down. Like I said, that crazy guy in the video, keep the grace note down, yelling at us with the dubstep. It was nuts. So let's get set up. Let's set up this time at low set, both sticks. And let's bring our right up to high playing. And make sure that left hand still is pointed down for low set. Yeah, there we go. Great. So same thing, 2 measures and then measure and then repeat it. 5, 6, 7, 8. So watch that right hand on the grace notes. Good, that was better on the grace notes. Let's try to stay at the metronome, both of us. And again, go. Again, go. Yeah, it's looking better. Our first left flam, so with the right hand on the grace note, is looking awesome. And then the second time we do it, I think coming out of that.
Yeah,
so.
I've been doing it every time I do that.
Yeah.
But I keep doing a left flam and then I want to go left again.
Yeah. And then I can see it happening. You wanna do more with the left hand. Like I said, the first one's looking pretty good, and then we kind of just our hands do what they want to do. Let's do it one more time. We have just a few minutes here, so like 3 more minutes, and then we'll be off and running. Okay. So yeah, let's get set up. Both hands low set. Really get that set down. Low set, not low play. Yeah, there we go. And then bring the right hand up to high playing. And 5, 6, 7. Keep the right hand down. There we go. Awesome. Do again. And. Yeah. That was better. I saw the conscious effort to keep the right hand down, which was good. Which is it was fantastic. Do you have any questions or anything or any clarifications? If not, I think that was pretty good.
Thank you.
Sweet. Yeah. Thanks.